Okay, so hopefully the sound is better now. Let me know if it is not. Hey Cindy, hi Mary. Can you hear better now? Hey Belle. Okay, apparently I just need to stop using my laptop, so I will make sure I keep using my phone for lives going forward. So let's start back over with the fabric. Does anybody need me to go back over the pattern instructions, how to piece them together, or the material list? Because if not, I'm just going to start back over at the different materials that we can use. So like I said, this is a home decor fabric from Joann. It is on sale right now for $6.99. It's going on sale tomorrow for $5 a yard. So it's a great deal. But this is the stuff that is on the regular bolt that is folded, not the one that is on the giant rolls that are on the stands. So I would say that the weight of this is in between quilting cotton and canvas. So it is thicker than quilting cotton, but not as thick as canvas. And it's got a pretty loose weave. I don't know if you can see it from there, but if I hold it up to the light, I can definitely see light through it. And then we have waterproof canvas. So this waterproof canvas I got from Fabric Wholesale Direct. And for waterproof canvas, it has two different sides. So we've got the right side, which is the side that you can see the texture or the weave on. And then the wrong side is the side that is smoother and has the coating. So like right here, you can see a good difference between the two. So this is the right side right here. This is the wrong side. A couple of other options that we can use is waxed canvas. So this is a half yard of waxed canvas. I want to say that this one is by Robert Kaufman, that I got from the Fabric Candy Shop. So waxed canvas is a little more pricey. This I paid $11 for a half yard. So you can see it's not, I mean, this is doubled up. And you can tell that you can see the creases in it because of the wax. So I have also heard good things about A.L. Francis Textiles on Etsy. They do waxed canvas that I've seen great feedback on. I have not tried theirs yet. It is on my list after I use this. But so waxed canvas is going to give you like a more lived in look. You will definitely see the crease marks, which is like, you know, like the lighter colored parts right here, but it protects it. So it's waxed canvas is like waterproof, or at the very least water resistant. There are some issues with sewing waxed canvas that I have encountered in my research. So I actually haven't sewn with it yet, but there are some lower quality wax canvases that can gum up your feed dogs, and have issues with like gumming it up and then not feeding your fabric through. So in situations like that, what you'll want to do is keep alcohol swabs or a Q-tip nearby to keep them clean and free of wax buildup, or the super I guess higher quality wax canvas will actually not flake off as much and cause less buildup. So this one I got in two different colors. I got in the walnut. So the lighting is not very true to color. This is like a brown, a warm brown, warmer than it shows on the camera. And then this is a burgundy called Berry. So other options that I was thinking of, I actually saw a really cute picture of a backpack that was Mickey themed. So like with a, what is it, like Mickey wears red shorts? Or is it black shorts with red dots on them? I don't know. Either way, I know red is involved. So I have this red vinyl that I got from my local upholsterer. So this is just like a regular primary red, not glossy, slightly textured. If you can see, there we go. So this is red. Another option could be this vinyl, which is also textured. This is like a blue-gray. I really hate the lighting in here because it's not true to color at all. But this one is more flexible and pliable than the red one. The red one is a little more sturdy. And then I also have this really pretty camel colored, super shiny, slightly distressed looking vinyl as well. So I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm going to use or do yet. Sorry, I'm trying to throw these in the bin and it's not quite getting there. Yeah, 2 out of 3. So those are some of the fabric options that we can use. And I know Beth had talked about the interfacing. She brought up the interfacing. So the pattern says that you need 5 yards of 20-inch wide feasible woven interfacing. So 5 yards sounds like a lot, but Alicia wrote it to mean 5 yards of the shape flex that you would get off the bolt at Joann. So not like, you know, usual yards will be 44 inches or 54 inches or 60 inches. This is more of like a, like the really small kind, which, oh, here. So this is Shape Flex off the bolt from Joann. And see, so it only goes from here to here. So this is only 17 inches. So you need 5 yards, or 20 inches, I'm sorry. So you need 5 yards of that. You only need 3 if you're using vinyl because you don't need to put the woven interfacing on the vinyl. But Beth, if you use waterproof canvas, you don't need any interfacing. That's right, 0 interfacing. Valerie, for thicknesses, I really don't go by weight of vinyls just because a lot of the places that I buy from don't have that information readily available. So it makes it a little harder to compare. So I go by pretty much sight and feel. So what you want to use for bags is dependent on the look that you want. So some vinyls are a lot more flexible than others, and some are very stiff. So let me finish this interfacing conversation, then we can go talk about vinyls and cork. So if you use waterproof canvas for the inside, because this is thicker and has more structure, you don't have to use woven interfacing for it. And woven interfacing is the only interfacing that you need for this pattern. So there is no Peltex, there's no Decoville, there's no foam, no fleece, nothing. So this is super, super easy on the interfacing that you don't have to worry about. And then back to the vinyl. So like this vinyl, this is just a scrap of brown that I have laying around, but you can tell right here, like it's really pliable, malleable, super soft, easy to work with, right? So this is going to be like the kind that you would want to use for a slouchy bag, or if you don't want to use it for a slouchy bag, you might want to throw on some Decoville Light or even a couple of layers of woven interfacing just to make it more stiff. Beth, so for the exterior, I mean, it really depends on what you want it to look like. Because if you look on the picture, so on the picture, it's half canvas and half vinyl. So you can do that, or you can do all canvas, or you can do all vinyl, or all waxed canvas, or half home deck, half canvas. But I would definitely recommend having the thicker or more durable fabric on the bottom, just because that's going to be carrying your weight, and that's going to be what is sitting on the floor. So that's where you want your thicker material to be. Oh, Beth, if you can make the Sydney, you can make this. Stephanie, if you use waterproof canvas, no, it doesn't have anything to do with the outer fabric. So if you use waterproof canvas for the inside, you don't have to interface the lining. So if you use this as your lining, you don't have to interface it. But if you want to use waterproof canvas on the outside, I would still, you could interface it with a layer of woven interfacing, just to make it a little more stiff, but I honestly probably wouldn't, just because I don't want to melt it. But you can interface it without melting it. Kimberly, if you want to use just regular woven cotton, I would use a woven interfacing on it to just stabilize it and give it a little more structure, especially if you want to use it for the top, because the top's going to have to be pliable enough to roll the top over. Because in here we have the rolled top. You want it to be able to roll and not just look like, you know, like triangles or things that aren't smooth, I guess. Hopefully that makes sense. It's okay, Deb. Wanda, sometimes I do use interfacing for a vinyl, but it is very specific. So, let me give you an example. Where is it? Okay, so this is another bag that I am making, and this is the base. So, and it's got feet on it already. So this is vinyl right here, and it is one of my softer vinyls. So it's a vinyl that was like very comparable to this brown one that I wadded up earlier. So it's like really soft. So I don't want my bottom to, well, let's pull a Monica. I don't want a saggy bottom. So I put Decoville Heavy on it, and then the duct tape is just holding my feet in place. But so I just fused it to the wrong side of my vinyl, and if you can tell, it makes it more like cardboard like. Kimberly's Shape Flex will be fine. You definitely don't want something heavy like Decoville if you're planning on rolling it. So some other options. So here's more of the vinyl that I was showing earlier on the Q&A that I got from my local place. So this one is a red, like slightly patterned one, and it's a little glossy, but it's got like a felt backing on it. But this one's also pretty soft. So if I can crumple it up like this with one hand, it's pretty soft. Yes, no saggy bottoms at Swoon. So for all of these ones are pretty. Let me grab a different one. Okay. So, like this blue one right here, it's a little more structured, but this one would still be okay because it has a really thin profile to it. So, like, this one doesn't crumple as nicely as the other ones, but it crumples because it's thinner. Whereas this one is a little thicker and has like a heavier hand feel to it. And you can definitely see the crumples in this one a little more. So if I want to use like a heavier material, like this kind of vinyl, I would keep this on the bottom because then I don't have to roll it. So for your straps, you can do vinyl straps, which is the easiest because then you don't have to interface them. You can use whatever woven fabric that you are using, and you do have to interface that in order to give it enough body and strength to be used as a strap. Or you can take the easy way out and use webbing. So this one is a cotton webbing, and generally how I tell the difference between cotton webbing and nylon or poly webbing is the look of it. So this one is matte and has no sheen, and it's fraying at the end. So this one is cotton, so it's not going to be as strong or as durable as something like this. So this one, if you can see, it's got some sheen to it. And when it frays, it's not like a thread coming out like this. See the difference? And then another hack that you can do is take webbing and cover it with your fabric and then just use it that way. That way you don't have to use interfacing. So if I wanted to do this with a woven fabric, I could just cut a strip that is a little more than double the width of whatever webbing I want to use and wrap it around and then just sew it in place so that you have the structure of the webbing but the look of the cotton. So that comes in handy when you don't have a complementing color of webbing to your project. Say your project is brown based colors and you only have black webbing and you don't want to use black. You can take whatever fabric you're using and cover that in order to coordinate. And then we need 12-inch all-purpose zipper for the front pocket. So the front pocket is right here in between the two where the fabric type changes. So your zipper, and this is a rule of thumb, just for me, personal preference. I like to use number 5 zippers for everything on the outside, or the main opening of the bag, and number 3 for anything interior, or secondary to the main opening. So, for example, this one, this is a number 5 zipper. So the number 5 is referring to the size of the teeth. So it has bigger teeth than a number 3, which, do I have one laying around? Let me grab one real quick. So I buy my number 3 zippers already made from a while back. In fact, right now, I think their zippers are buy 2, get 1 free. So I know it's a little harder to see because this is all one color. But the teeth on this one is a lot smaller than the teeth on the teal one. So, Mary, I don't think they actually say number 5 on them. I think it more says like all-purpose or jacket or pants or invisible zipper. Let me pull it up on their website, and we'll figure out what it says together. But I'm pretty sure it's not by number on there. So after zippers, oh, obviously if you use zipper tape, you will need a zipper pull. And if you have a zipper pull, you can put the zipper on by hand or use a cool little doodad like this one that I got. So a couple weeks or maybe a month ago, there's this craze going around with these towel hook holders, and they are great for installing zippers. Who knew? Yes, Lizzie, it is to do with the width of the teeth. So, Mary, I am looking at Joann's site right now, and it does just say all-purpose plastic zipper or invisible zipper or separating zipper, sport zipper, blah, 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 blah. So it doesn't actually like have a number, or if it does, it's in small print somewhere on the packaging. And then next we talk about hardware. So this bag is great because, and I didn't even realize it until today, you could make it without any interfacing depending on what other fabrics you use, but it also uses very little hardware. So we have the zipper, which we just talked about, so 12 inches, and then all you need are D-rings, O-rings, or rectangle rings. So the caveat is you do need 8 of them. So we have O-rings that we could use. We could use rectangle rings. And these are 1 inch wide for your straps. Or we can use D-rings. So luckily I'm pretty sure I have enough of all of them that I could do whatever size I want. But this is definitely going to be one of the situations where I use my thinner hardware compared to my thicker hardware. So I have this D-ring, right? normal D-ring. But then I also have this D-ring. One is a lot thicker than the other. But I'm going to think about it. And if I have 8 of these suckers on my bag, that's going to add a good amount of weight. Not to mention, that's a pretty costly amount of hardware for a bag. Conversely, for the circles, or the O-rings, I have the thicker version, and then I have a thinner version. So both of these are 1-inch O-rings, but one is thicker and heavier than the other. And that really just has to do with where you buy your products from. I'm not saying that one is necessarily higher quality than the other, and that you don't want the thinner one, but it depends on your use of them. So this is the thicker D-ring, thinner D-ring. So both of them have an inch opening. Mary, it can be different things. So it can be either the look of it. So maybe you're making something small and you don't want the bigger D-ring to kind of overwhelm the look of it. So maybe you want to use something smaller. Or for the case of this bag, because you're using 8 of them, I might not want the weight of 8 of these D-rings on my bag as opposed to 8 of these ones, which are a lot lighter. Yes, Beth. So the hardware actually goes on the straps. So as you make your straps, and then this is another thing as well, you're going to double up on them like this because that's how you secure your strap. So you're going to have it on each strap on the front side because that's where you pull it closed. Right there. So if you look closely, you can see that there is a rectangle ring inside and then this one that shows on the outside. So it's really up to you and what you have and the look that you prefer, because any of them would work. D-rings, O-rings, rectangle rings. For me, I would probably use rectangle rings or O-rings just because those are something that I don't use as much. And yeah, but I have to go through and count after I decide what fabric I want to use. And then fabric glue, double-sided basting tape, and thread. So fabric glue, Alicia always recommends fabric tack. That's what she usually uses. And I hate using glue, especially for basting. If it's glue basting, I will skip it and I will just use double-sided tape instead. So double-sided tape is also on sale at Sewalong right now. So for the month of March, it's 20% off. So this is the giant roll worth that you would get from Sewalong, and it is like, I think this is the quarter inch maybe, and it is the stickiest tape known to man. And I would not recommend sewing over it unless you have an industrial. So keep that out of your seam allowance. But I also recently found this double-sided basting tape. You can tell it is really, 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 really thin because this is 3 millimeters, which is a scant 1/8 of an inch. So even for areas where you are sewing at an 1/8 inch seam allowance, it's going to stay out of your seam allowance. For thread, you would just use your regular all-purpose polyester thread. So you can just use your Gutermann, Coats & Clark, Glide, whatever it is that you usually use. Or if you're using a thicker material, you can use bonded nylon if your machine will tolerate it. I know some machines won't. So this is Tex 70 bonded nylon. This one I think I got from Wawak as well. Or you can use a heavy duty upholstery thread like this. Trying to get it a little more clear. This is just one that I got from Hobby Lobby, from Sewology. It is called the Extra Strong Upholstery, and this is 100% bonded nylon. So it's the same as the big white spool that I just showed you, just a different brand. And I'm pretty sure it's a little thinner as well. Does anybody else have any questions that I didn't cover? So materials, places that you can buy vinyl, canvas, waterproof canvas, the usual that we do. So fabric wholesale direct for your waterproof canvas. Some people do prefer buying it from fabric.com just because they will roll the waterproof canvas and instead of folding them. To me, I keep mine folded anyway, so it really doesn't matter. You can get vinyl from My Punk Broidery. You can get it from Emmeline. You can get it from Bodio. You can get it from Joanne, Hobby Lobby. You can use marine vinyl. You can buy it from marinevinylfabric.com. Beth, I am going to do 2 different materials on my exterior. I will probably be using either canvas and wax canvas or canvas and vinyl. Thanks, Inga. So, pretty quick prep session today because we were just talking about materials and things that you will need in order to start the Sewalong on the 22nd. So if you have not, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think that it is in the events somewhere. If you scroll up to the top, there's also a survey that you can fill out that will help me kind of gear my products out there to everybody in a more helpful manner. And if you have any other questions, any other suggestions, let me know. And don't forget to tune in. Let's see, what day is today? 12th? The 10th? The 10th. So in 10 more days, Lizzie promised that she will be giving us some hints on what is going on in April. So 10 days and then we get to find out what's going on in April. Well, maybe something about what's going on in April. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful night, and I will see y'all in 12 days to start the Atlas. Have a good one. Bye.